following Dracula, it's literally, well, he has to go on a boat, because how else is a vampire going to get
from
one place to another without a boat? Because a boat is the only place where you can go without catching sunlight. But that's about where it ends.
So we meet our main protagonists for the film, Detectives Rita Vader and Detective Justice. I don't know if that's his first or last name.
Just Justice.
It's never covered.
And I mean, I'm surprised he's not a judge. Judge Justice. Like, it's like, well, we're hitting the hammer on the fucking nail on that one, aren't we? Justice.
So they're just shooting the shit in the car, driving. There's a little bit of backstory for Rita. And
a little bit.
Because they get to the ship, and then right before she goes in, and the captain goes, "Is she going to be okay?"
Yeah.
Because her mom killed herself in the insane asylum. Mm-hmm. So he's like, I don't know. It's been touch and go for the last 3 months, Captain. I'll let you know.
Yeah.
So she finds a coffin.
Like you do.
Like you do.
And no one seems to question it, really.
No. Well, she falls through a thing, and then...
Yes.
She finds the coffin, calls people in, oh, look, coffin, and like, there's no coffin, but she sees Max and kind of follows him around. Mm-hmm. Max also explodes a dog.
Because he can.
A cop
well,
dog.
He doesn't explode it. He blows the bottom of it up so it goes flying through the air. Because he can. First of all...
This isn't the only animal that just randomly gets murdered in this film.
But my question is, how? How?
Does he have the power to just...
When can... And if he can do this,
or whatever?
How come he doesn't do it in other scenes? When it would be very, very useful when people are trying to kill you to maybe create explosions underneath them. You know?
I don't know.
And inconsistent. We're getting into fucking Meteor Man territory of we don't know what he can do.
So Julius brings Max back to his place. Mm-hmm. Silas is the landlord of the building, so it's like, who's that? Julius?
Yeah. First of all,
because Julius's ear is off at this point as he's starting to deteriorate, being a ghoul.
I was so excited that John Witherspoon came back. I'm like, if that was his only scene, I'd have been pissed.
Max covers him, rewards him handsomely with gold, old-timey gold.
He doesn't reward him. He's just like, hey, get the fuck out. What the hell?
You got rent?
Yeah, like, you're going to pay for this?
Because he looks at him, says he's rich, like, double. Like, no, triple.
So, this is the second Wes Craven movie that somehow all of your answers are saved by gold coins. Mm-hmm. Second for us in a row. And, like, he somehow, just by looking at it, knows, well, this is covering you for, like, a year, so enjoy.
Yep. Rita has a terrible dream where she sees her mother and tossing and turning and freaking out. There's obviously a backstory there.
Yeah. We don't get it until much later, so deal with it.
We get the captain again with Rita and Justice, and I think there's a break in the case. Because the police are just like, yes, a giant ship showed up, and I don't know, over 300 dead bodies on it?
Yeah. We might want to look into this, guys. Hey, guys.
It would be the biggest case in the city, I would assume.
Brooklyn?
No.
It's New York, son.
I know, but...
New York in the 90s. Like,
I don't know, but it's still a ginormous ship.
True. I mean, would it be the biggest case? No. Would it be a big priority? Absolutely. But they would call in other people. Like, in all fairness, they would know where the boat came from. So they'd be calling other people.
Did you get a tip on an expert, Dr. Zico? Mm-hmm. And Julius overhears it being in an obvious fake beard janitor costume. Like, the oldest trick in the book. How you get a job as I don't know.
I'm guessing he didn't get the job. My guess is he just dressed up like the janitor or a janitor with the beard and the outfit with a mop, and nobody questioned it. Which, I gotta tell you, that would probably happen.
And then he ate a roach.
Because Renfield ate a roach in the original Dracula, because, everybody who saw this movie saw the original 1932 Dracula, right? Oh, wait.
Same.
No. Nobody who did. I might be the only one who's ever watched this movie who's seen Dracula. Just saying.
So they devise a plan. Julius and Max devise a plan. All he needs is a dance.
Mm-hmm.
It's all he needs.
Yeah.
I get one dance with Rita, and she's mine for life.
I feel like this is like somebody, Barney the Dinosauring an idea, because, like, usually it's like, oh, I need to fuck or whatever. It's like, no, I need to dance. It's like, please tell me dancing is a metaphor, right?
Nope.
Like, no, he actually means dancing. Okay, Disney got a hold of this shit.
So Rita and Justice do visit Dr. Zico, who try to explain to them
the
lore and
Yeah.
How he fought a vampire once and he failed, and then he shows a scar on his face. And I think this is later just the Justice.
Yeah.
Because Rita runs into Max.
Right.
Who almost gets her.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah.
He manipulates it. There's like a live snake. Why would there be a live snake?
Okay, so I wanted to talk about this because I'm like, oh, so somebody's going nuts. So
they're in a Caribbean nightclub.
Zico, his office is in a reggae nightclub.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, if I were a doctor like him, that's exactly what I would do. And so they're just like, well, this is weird. And then he shows up and everything like that. And then, of course, Max is hanging out in this club. And there's a snake there because why the fuck not? And they have a handler. They do have a snake handler, but I guess he's having a drink hitting on somebody maybe. And yeah, so Max manipulates the snake to get out. And in probably the only clever line in the whole fucking thing, Max goes up to her. She's like, there's a killer on the loose. And she's like, how the fuck do you know that? And he's just like, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, well, do you know who it is? And he goes, it's right behind you. And just as she is about to turn, he grabs this fucking snake. It's a cobra, and then shows it to her like, haha, get it? Get it? Killer. Snake. Want to dance? Like, it was literally that kind of...
smooth like, motherfucker.
He was smooth for a minute, and then he kind of went a little not smooth. And then... so they were about maybe going to dance because she's looking at him going, well,
they're on the dance floor.
Yeah, because it's fucking Eddie Murphy in the 90s, so,
and then fucking Julius
ruins everything.
Looking just all sorts of just... Ooh.
Yeah. Not the worst he's going to look, but he's looking bad.
He's getting bad.
Yeah.
And just like, bitch, do you know who this is? This is Max.
Yeah.
He's just swimming in pussy.
And
Max is just like the whole time wide-eyed like, you idiot.
Yeah.
You moron.
Women love the fact that they're just, number 9 on the pussy meter.
Because she just went like, I can't believe I almost did.
Yeah. I almost danced with you. And then fucking walks out. And he basically almost kills Julius.
Oh, Max fucking Darth Vader's the shit out of him. Just up.
Like, lift him up, motherfucker. Yeah.
If you ever do that again, I'll murder you. He like, almost rips out his tongue. Like, grabs his tongue and then kind of in a minute, it back into his face.
We turn into the mask for half a second. And then, he pulls his tongue out cartoonishly long. And it's like, oh, that doesn't make sense in this realism we've set up. But okay, we're cool.
So Rita and Justice go back to Rita's apartment.
Mm-hmm.
Where Nikki shows up, her roommate.
Nikki clearly hasn't had sex in a long time.
Because she's like, who is this?
First of all, I'm like, I refuse to believe that she's lived there for any length of time, and she's never met this dude, because...
They've been partners for a while?
Yeah, you would think, but... she's...
all over him.
Yeah, she needs her some dick, and... he's the guy that she wants. So she's just like, hey, you got some time to kill? And,
chases him down to the car and everything. After he leaves, he's like, oh, I gotta go.
Like, Jesus Christ, this is weird. I gotta go. Get the fuck away from me, crazy lady. She chases him down. Again, needs some dick. And just makes another move. And because he forgot his keys.
Yeah.
So she's just like, Freud says if you forget something, it means you don't really want to leave. He goes, or not, and he just grabs his keys and goes, bye.
Or nah. Bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia, basically. And then, in the weirdest fucking point in the whole movie, the thing that is the least believable part in this whole thing, is she literally turns around and sees Eddie Murphy, sees Max, and Max sort of half starts talking to her, and then now she wants his dick.
Yeah, she's just like, oh well, more you.
Couldn't get him. Hey, you've got dick, come here. And she invites him up.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes. And they fuck.
Oh, and he fucks the shit out of her.
She's enjoying herself.
Because Rita wakes up to just all sorts of fucking animal sex noises.
Yeah.
And she thinks it's Justice.
She does, because the last image she saw was her trying to fuck Justice, so...
Not thinking, like, she ran into another guy down there.
I mean, you would think that even if she did run into another guy... Yeah.
Of course it's Justice.
You would think, but,
And Max goes full vampire and fucking kills her.
Yep. Eats the shit out of her.
So you introduce a character, and she's dead within 5 minutes.
Well, I was going to say it's a slasher movie, but I'm like, no, we don't do that. No,
That's
bad
writing.
That is very bad writing.
Poor writing and piss poor character development. Hey, there's a character. Oh, look, she's dead.
Character development? I know one thing about her and one thing only. She likes dick.
So that's why there's some development.
Is it?
That's why it's piss poor.
She's a stereotype. That's not development.
Either way,
that is the exact opposite
it's just
of development.
Piss poor of like, here's a character and she's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Like what?
Her whole existence is to fuck and die.
Well,
that is what they made this character for.
Nikki, we hardly knew you.
Mm-hmm.
So Max, eats Preacher Polly,
like you do.
The local preacher for the church, who has his own van. I'm like, why is a cartoon preacher the lead preacher of a very nice looking church?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. It does seem a little odd. It does seem a little strange that he's sort of in charge of everything. But I guess maybe that's where he makes his bones, right?
I guess.
Then it turns into the plot of Little Nicky.
Yep. So Rita goes to see the preacher.
Which I'm like,
who is now Max.
I guess this, for me, my whole thought is, I guess Adam Sandler saw this.
Who is now Max.
Mm-hmm.
Dressed, looking like Preacher Polly.
Yes.
They kind of talk for a bit, and he's trying to lead her down the path of evil, subtly, as Preacher Polly. Then the rest of the church is like, Preacher, you need to get in there, you need to do your sermon. He's just like looks up and sees the church and goes,
I probably shouldn't go in there.
So he walks in, his hair starts to smoke.
And he's just like, God damn it! Which is
exactly like, God damn! And the whole time's like, what?
Oh, shit. Preacher, we should preach outside amongst the people.
God damn, it's too hot in here. Let's all go in the parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I'm going to guess that this is the first time Preacher Polly ever said that.
Yeah, but they don't question it.
They don't question
Preacher Polly.
You don't question the preacher. So he has a bit of a Sermon on the Mount.
Yeah. He gets on his pulpit and starts preaching. And it is, I mean, you heard a clip of it in the beginning, but it is literally almost word for word a lot of what happened to Little Nicky. Evil is good. Sin
is
just
in
sin.
or whatever?
Yeah, sin is in. It's literally, we'll get to Little Nicky someday. But yeah, it's basically the same thing. And I'm like, oh shit, Adam Sandler saw this movie and stole it. There's no other way around that.
Explaining like, look at so-and-so there. He got a $2 whore last week.
Yeah. And it's like, that's pretty funny. There was another line. Fuck, what was the line? He said something about it, like not it being okay or something like that. It's like, it was something along the lines of like, if she's $2, then she'll fucking do anything, something like that. And I was like, okay, that was legitimately funny.
Well, we all came from getting a little ass.
Yeah, and
you wouldn't
that was
be
the
here.
other one. I'm like, that's genius.
You wouldn't be here if someone didn't get some ass.
And you're like, fuck, he's right.
Now, here's my problem with this entire scene. Why is it in this film? This is the only pure comedy scene in the entire film.
Well, it is there as far as it does have some character development and a little plot. Because Rita and Justice are talking, and then he is echoing what they're saying as part of his sermon. That is the reason it's there. Why is it overtly funny like this? My guess is...
because it just does not fit.
No, it doesn't. It's where the tone starts falling apart. And I think this is where Eddie sort of went, this is where the comedy's going to come in that I'm used to. Because he's very good in it.
Yeah.
But again...
best part of the scene is him.
Yeah. But I think this is sort of one of those things. Because this is where you really start to see... because up until then, it's just been a mediocre horror film. Now it's attempting to throw the comedy hardcore. Because there's always funny characters in horror films. Because horror and comedy actually do go really well together. And there's always funny characters. But this is a legit comedy scene in a horror movie.
Which is different.
And this is where it falls the fuck apart. Because this is the beginning where you're just like, oh, no.
Because it's foreign. It's a foreign scene
it doesn't match.
In a movie where it does not belong.
Yeah. And it's not the only one. But this is where it starts, where you're just like, oh, fuck. This is where your head starts tilting sideways, going, I don't know what I'm looking at, because it's not... the tone does not match the movie.
Because we're about to get another scene.
Yes. And they don't sleep on it either. And yeah, it's so awkward, and it's so weird, and it makes the comedy not fall all that strong. I mean, the comedy is strong enough, but it's not... it doesn't work because
and how it's placed.
You're sitting here.
What fails it.
Yeah, because you're already sitting here in a horror film, and now here's a comedy scene. Like it doesn't work. Like ironically, the Little Nicky one works infinitely better, and it's basically the same thing.
Although that's more overtly a comedy than
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. That's
why
they
know what movie they were making.
But that's why it works in Little Nicky, and it fails here when it's almost the exact same thing.
Because they don't know. Because
that's a comedy. Making. Yeah, this is supposed to be a horror kind of.
So read Injustice, figure it out.